What is up, everybody? This is RadTechShoe, and I am continuing my LP of Dante's Inferno with episode 15, Greed 4. Man, Greed just drags on, and it's actually going to drag on for quite a bit longer, so let's go ahead and get to it. We've got a reasonably short video here for you this time around. So as you can see in the background, there's an Asterian beast pushing a block. We'll get down to that area soon enough. But we've actually got to ride this elevator down. And on the way down, it's a slow riding elevator, and we're going to actually interact with some puzzles, and pretty much that's all we're going to do. We're just going to keep pushing further and further into Greed, you know. Greed drags on way too effing long, in my opinion. Like, it takes way too long. It's one of the reasons why I can't stand this freaking circle of hell. It takes way too long. There's too many save points, it's too long, it's too much to do. But anyway, what's up, Virgil?
Let not Plutus, the god of wealth, hinder your passage, whatever power the accursed wolf may have.
So Virgil's saying Plutus, the god of wealth, is this guy. Don't let him sidetrack you with whatever he offers you. Don't let him sidetrack you, but it's not like we can take any money and run. So as we jump on over, you know, our path behind us gets sealed, so now we've got some Greed minions. And we'll eventually encounter some more enemies. And look who it is. We have some more Hoarder Wasters. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. So these guys are dealt with relatively easily. I'm still playing around with the cross, trying to figure out what their limit is and how many cross hits. But as you know, the cross just keeps forcing them to go into their little spin cycle attack. The good thing is, though, the cross will actually, the Hoarder Wasters can actually damage each other. Once they start spinning, they'll run in, you know, one of them will run into another. And as you can see, he'll do it repeatedly. He'll just beat the shit out of his own friend. So, luckily, he managed to damage this guy and help us finish him off. So we've got more of those exploding minions. And I really should have just gotten it through my head not to use the cross on these guys. But I'm going to use the cross on that guy right there. And as you can see, his explosions will help us out for the most part. And it's a good thing those guys don't break my guard. Otherwise, that would have taken a lot. And right here, I managed to get off a nice little counter. You can't just R2 melee him, and then this bastard just starts spinning again. And I'm getting really sick of him. And right there, I accidentally hit circle instead of R2. So let's finish this asshole off. Alright, now we've got some Temptresses, as well as more exploding minions. So, we're going to deal with these. Now I can actually use the cross on these bitches. It's about time, too, so let's go ahead and just deal with these guys. Alright, so. And right here, for some reason, I dropped my guard right as she attacked, so that was just stupid on my part. But these, you know, this room, once we deal with these guys, we'll be able to actually move on. We just have to defeat the Temptress right here, and then we'll tackle Plutus's little puzzle. So we defeat all the enemies. Plutus decides to reward us with a box. Not quite sure what the fuck he was tempting me with. I mean, Virgil says don't let him, sidetrack you or anything, and I'm like, how the hell is that thing gonna sidetrack me? If anything, it's gonna help me. So what's going to happen is we need to get up to Plutus. And you can tell I can't push it, I can't attack it. I'm pretty, I'm looking at the platforms over on Plutus's left hand, and I'm like, I know I need to get up there. It's the only other way I can go. And I can't knock Plutus down, I can't damage him, I can't do anything to him. So I'm like, okay, let's explore the room, see what the hell I'm missing. And over here is a crank that I can turn. So I'm going to turn it this way. You actually need to turn it this way first, because you want that second platform, the one with all the hands, you need that one to rise up. So we can't go any further, so let's turn it back, and so we're just going to pretty much use those two right there in front of us, and we're going to use them to vault all the way up to the plate that Plutus is holding. So let's let go, jump up, use this one before it disintegrates, and bam, now we are up on top of Plutus. Alright, so up here's a save point. I'm going to save my game, but I'm definitely not ending the video. You know, we got some more ways before we get to another save point. So I'm going to use the Beatrice statue right here. But, oh, and the gold got upgraded. Cool, so my relic upgraded a little bit. So I'm just going to save my game, and then we're just going to continue on. Alright, so let's head on through. Alright, so another fountain, and now let's do a little swinging. Well, not so much swinging, let's just use this rope and cross. Hey, Virgil, what's up? What do you got to say for us?
The Wheel of Fortune. He who made the heavens named a guide who transfers vain goods from one blood to another.
So, in the game, the Wheel of Fortune is essentially a torture device that crushes and grinds souls underneath it. That's really all it is used here. There's no puzzle solving in terms of that. We're actually going to visit the Wheel of Fortune twice here. But first, right here is the first encounter we have with it. Here it is. And we're going to encounter a bunch of enemies as we do so. So we've got a Temptress right here, and we're going to fight some more demons and, stuff. The more we kill, the more show up. So we've got quite a few Temptresses, actually. So this is an annoying part. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to save my magic against the Hoarder Wasters. I didn't want to. I just let them spin. I didn't want to use any magic to disrupt them, even though I could. And notice my redemption meter is also full. I've been saving it up. I try not to be too wasteful, if that's ironic. And right here is one of their moves where they're attempting to, entrance me and seduce me and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, thank you. Just mash circle and get rid of it. Here is a glutton, as we know. Now let's go ahead and just use our redemption meter and just, lay into these guys. Let's get rid of, it'll actually help us put away the glutton real quick. So we've almost got the glutton down to size. And let's go ahead and throw this guy. Bam. Okay, now we can go deal with the glutton. So let's absolve his fat ass, and now we get some health and magic. And the Arrow of Paris is finally leveled up. So now we've got a throne demon, and pretty much now this is when the stuff kind of gets crazy. And right there, more explosion minions, damaging me. Getting, seduced and put into a trance, though. Like I said, this is actually kind of crazy. But luckily, it's not too bad. Alright, so let's just go ahead and keep using the cross, try and keep enemies at bay, and just deal with them whenever we can. But like I said, I hate the throne demons. They can charge off screen and just blindside you. Get this fucker out of the way. Alright, so we're down to just these two. Alright, good. Now I can actually kill the throne demon whenever I get the chance. Alright, let's take care of him. Get some holy points as we do so. And a little bit of health. And this bitch just didn't want to die. But unfortunately, she has to. Finally. Alright, so now we're actually able to move on. Now, we'll be back here later in another video. It'll be once we're pretty much at the end of Greed. That's when we'll be back here. As we're leaving Greed, that's when we'll be back. So right here, there's really not much else to this area. We can't even backtrack the way we came. So we're just gonna go this way. Alright, so nothing much over here. Let's just negotiate the platforms. Swing over. Alright, so we got the pests. They're gonna try and literally pester us. And I'm just gonna try and use the cross. The cross will do good here. Just dodge these things. I don't know if they're instant death. I'm assuming they are. So let's head through the door. Alright. God, man, this mission just... This freaking circle just will not fucking end. Alright, so we got some wall climbing to do. And for some reason I was holding R1 and I kept wanting to slide down. So here we go. Here's the Beatrice statue. This is where we're going to end this video, but not before I get all my health and all my mana, and we absolve this poor person. This is Fulvia, a one-time wife of Mark Antony, possessed by an unbearable greed, called the greediest woman in all of Rome. So Mark Antony, if you remember, was the guy we fought in the Lust Tower, who who we had to fight while Cleopatra would run interference on the sidelines. And once again, this is another example of my other controller also being low on batteries. For some reason, I just thought that maybe there was something wrong with both my controllers and that square was not working. But I had to push square right there with all my might, and it finally worked. And sometimes it still won't work, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But we are done with this part. She has been absolved. And for absolving her, we level up our holy to 4. And now we can go ahead, save our game, overwrite our data, and I will see you all in the next video where we finish Greed. This is RadTech Shoot, signing off.